Hello, everybody. This is Elizabeth Clare Brewington, and I have a very special guest today. And Ellen has written, actually, I would really call it a wealth of resources for anybody that has a teenage or a child that's growing up too fast. Um, and it tackles a lot of different topics that I was able to review, and I'll be featuring this book all through the month of May and June, given that we have Mother's Day and Father's Day coming up. And also, she is part of a group that talks about taking your children to work. So, Ellen, I am delighted to have you.
Thank
And tell us what inspired you, and tell us a little bit about the books and about yourself, and then we'll get into the books.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Nice to be with you today. I was inspired to write the Girls Know How book series. I think it would be twofold. First of all, like many of your viewers probably, when I was growing up, I didn't have the role models. I didn't have an idea of what I could be. I didn't even know what opportunities were out there. And I didn't see working moms. So not only a mom at home and having that family life, but also having a career. And growing up, my family's from Greece, and really I was raised to be seen, not heard. And I think education was more to get your MRS degree rather than go out and get a career. So it was a bit of a struggle for me, to be honest. And then I wanted, after I had children, I had two daughters, I really wanted there to be a different pathway for them, one where they didn't have preconceived notions of what they could or could not be. On the other hand, there was also something that through my research I discovered, and that was that up until the age of about 12 or middle school, boys and girls were pretty much on the same playing field. They had ambitions, they were going through for the same type of classes, math, science, the interest was high, but right around middle school, an abrupt change. All of a sudden, there was concern about body consciousness and social acceptance, and that was really derailing the way kids were proceeding, and I was seeing history repeat itself. So while I saw my kids voraciously reading, I thought maybe that's the way to do it, chapter books, and that's the way to get that message out there. My message about exploring the careers of your dreams isn't going to be the end all and be all, but if you layer that with other messages that parents and teachers are giving, then I think kids, especially girls, will stay on that successful track.
I totally agree with you because I know when even when I was growing up, there was no role models, and there was no discussions like, you should go here or you should think about a career or any of that. And yeah, it's so true. So I absolutely loved it for many purposes. One of our missions is jobs and business empowerment. And I think when you start young, you could grow the next president or, somebody more significant, and develop beautiful careers. So I don't know, which one would you like us to start with? Should we start with Smart Alex, since we were talking about Smart
That's,
Alex,
that
or
sounds great. So
yeah?
we
I
did
love all of them. Oh, wait. There's an order. You have an order. Hold on. Oh,
that's just how
journalism.
we
That's
wrote them.
my
You don't have
field.
you don't have to read them in order.
Yeah.
If we start with, we'll
Well,
start
it just
right?
makes sense.
Sure.
Yeah. So
So
yeah.
I love this because, well, Stephanie get the story. When you start out writing books, you don't know if you're going to write another one or not, right? So I named the characters. Stephanie in this is my daughter, Stephanie, my eldest, and my younger daughter, Veronica. She's not on the cover. Actually, yeah, no, she's not on the cover. She's inside. So I had to make
Yeah.
sure to get both their names in there. But this one starts off with journalism. And I think that's something that so many people are interested in, but more importantly is communication. So one thing we do throughout all of the books is we weave in the skills and attributes that are important, their life skills. And so that might be good communication skills, teamwork, leadership, conflict resolution. You'll see in these, they're chapter books about kids that might be just like them. So they're going to have some conflicts and pretty much navigating friendships. And these are the kinds of things that are great takeaways. One of the books we always ask, we have kid testers, and we ask the kids, what's this book about? And one of the kids said, This book's about knowing when it's okay to ask for help. And I thought, what a great takeaway. They're not seeing just
Yeah.
journalism or construction. So within each book, we have a real life female role model who is the inspiration for one of the key characters in the book. In this one, it was Marsha Bullard. Marsha Bullard was the president of USA Weekend magazine. And we have a bio about her, and we have a Kids Want to Know interview about her. And she influences the child in the book. So we bring in some of those real life things into the books. And we learn about the who, what, where, when, why, how, what you have to ask about when you're writing a story. So kids really enjoy this one. I would also say, Elizabeth, it's probably the easiest read because my kids were young when I wrote it. And I just sort of wrote to that level a little bit more.
Wow, but I love this whole thing about having a real role model. And I think this is a great start because at this age, there's a lot of school magazines, church bulletins, there's opportunities to write. I know my mother used to force me to write and have my pieces published. So, yeah, this is a great start for any little girl. Journalism, and there's TV, and there's, and now with so much going on online, they could even
Oh,
take
right.
a video of themselves, yeah,
Yeah.
and be a little blogger. So this is a great start.
Thank you.
So here we are with the author Ellen Langas, and we're talking about the Girls Know How series, starting with the first book. So let's get into the second one. I love construction because we never think about girls getting into construction. Yeah.
Well,
So
I
this
was
is a great one.
thank
Yeah.
you. I was asking one of the little girls about the book that she had it, and she got a kick out of the fact that Tori, the main character, her dad assumed that the head of the construction company was a man and was shocked to find out that it was a she. And we use Linda
Yeah.
Alvarado. She's one of the first Hispanic owners of a major construction company as the role model here. What I love about this book is that these three girls have a clubhouse and the boys steal it. And then one day they steal it back and they go head to head until the head of a major construction company says, well, girls, why don't you just build your own? And that's what gets them excited. And I think kids will enjoy this because there's boys and girls. And I love when boys read these books because I like to have boys see girls as being really great lead characters in books. The other thing we do is we introduce Habitat for Humanity in this. In all of our books, we make sure to talk about that balanced life, not all career, not just the family, but giving back as well. So we introduced the Girls Build program for Habitat for Humanity in here. And in the back of the book, we challenge kids, build your own little, design your own clubhouse. We also have teacher study guides for free for every book, so it can be used for homeschooling or in the classroom at girlsknowhow.com, as well as free activities kids can use online as well. And I wanted to mention, Elizabeth, ages 7 to 12, anyone in elementary school, these are probably ideal for.
Yeah, I think this is great. And they could actually really do something with this. It's a great age to explore because you're got nothing to do sometimes, and it's nice to do something.
Build
Yeah.
a clubhouse.
So that's
Sorry, moms.
awesome. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. So let's dive into teaching.
Okay.
Oh my God, we need teachers. Yeah.
Yes.
And yeah, how cool is that? Yeah.
So we did a survey of 1,000 boys and girls under the age of 12 and asked them what they wanted to be. So this is a gimme question, but Elizabeth, what do you think the number one answer was for girls? I'll give you a hint.
Acting. Teaching.
Teaching.
Okay.
Yes, it was teaching. And I think it's because most kids have a role model as a teacher. So again, you see somebody in that role, you can identify with it. While we're at it, what do you think the number one choice for boys was?
Pilot. I don't
Oh,
know.
that's a good one. And that came up quite a bit.
Yeah.
A professional athlete is
Really? Oh, that's awesome.
at
Yeah.
that age,
Okay.
you can guess that this
Yeah.
So smart Alex, I love because Alex here, she just thinks that she's just not going to amount to anything. She lives with her mom and her sister and doesn't feel that she needs to really try hard at school because she doesn't see herself going to college. No one in her family ever did, and particularly math. But she happens to be a math whiz. And so what's fun is she and Emily, who's her nemesis, land up both being on the math team, the Mathletes it's called. And we worked hand in hand with a real organization called Math Counts to come up with some of the math problems that we put in here. And we were inspired by a bit of a real life story in here. It's just a wonderful, almost like a Goodwill Hunting story for kids. So I really
Wow.
love this one. And this is the one that the little girl said, you have to know when you can ask for help because Alex, the main character, just would never ask for help and she needed it. And she also had to counsel a little grade school girl in detention, actually, so that she could learn what it was like to teach someone else because you learn by teaching. And so we really enjoyed doing this book quite a bit.
Yeah, I think that was at least something that caught my eye. Ask for help.
Yeah.
Because I think as little girls grow up and we're criticizing them so much and don't do this and don't go here and don't go there, they stop wanting to ask permission for things. They want to just, be in charge. And I think that's dangerous because if they do need help, they should be asking for help.
Yeah.
So I think that is really, really important. And I remember reading some part of it, and I said, yes, this is essential. Ask for help. It doesn't hurt. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Thank you. Appreciate that.
yeah. So science. I know every teacher would love you if you start getting kids to think about science and math. So yeah, so this is good.
Well, and we do want to encourage, especially girls, to go into the areas of science, technology, engineering, and math. So this is all things STEM, but we like to add in the arts or STEAM. And that's what
Yeah.
we've done here. And this has a lot to do with friendships, because in this case, Sylvia, who is best friends with Kristen, they have loved science all of their years together. And they're going into middle school and it's their goal to win the science fair competition the very first year in middle school. It's never been done before. But a new girl, Indra, comes to school and she's the it girl. And what happens is Kristen sort of leaves Sylvia behind. And hasn't that happened to all of us as youngsters? That
Yeah,
what happened to
it
my best
has.
friend, right? But what does happen is Sylvia learns that just because Kristen might not have the exact same interests as her, they can still be best friends. And we work in helping the girls understand the scientific method. So they learn this in the book, they go through some experiments so that you're really getting a feel for science and understanding that science is a part of everything in our lives and can be so much fun too. So this is just
Yeah.
and we work with the Girl Scouts in this. Sylvia is a Girl Scout,
Mm.
and the real life inspiration was a 12-year-old scientist. So it's nice to be
Oh,
able to see something that kids can really identify with, just like Gitanjali Rao, the Time Magazine's first ever Kid of the Year, is a young scientist. And I love seeing her on the front of Time Magazine and starting to see youngsters who are bold and doing things in the
yeah.
fields of science and math.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of that. We're seeing young entrepreneurs, young teachers. We'll see young mayors. So we're expecting
That's
a lot with this kids. Yeah, I
right.
just love this. I think this is an absolute treasure, and I think it's a great little gift, especially now when you're thinking about Mother's Day and Father's Day. And yes, we want to give gifts to mothers and fathers, but every mother wants her child to also have something. So this is great, and it's also good for homeschooling. Many of us are studying at home now, so these are great little books to read during the pandemic.
I
So
think
tell me about take your daughters and sons to work. I love this whole concept, and tell me all about it. Yeah.
I'd love to tell you about that because when we think about how can we encourage our kids to think about careers and what they want to be, the one thing I bet every kid, and you and I have had this question, is, what do you want to be when you grow up? And kids might change their mind month to month, day to day, and that's absolutely okay to do, because how do you know? And I sure didn't know what I wanted to do until I actually experienced some jobs and talked to the people who had them. And that's what Take Our Daughters and Sons to Work Foundation is all about, is connecting what they're learning in the classroom to what's happening in real life. And every year for the past 28 years, Take Our Daughters and Sons to Work Day is always the fourth Thursday in April. So this year it's April 22nd. But this year, they sort of had to turn the tables because of the pandemic. So instead of taking kids into the workplace to see their parents and other adults working, they are bringing the workplace to kids in their first virtual program. So you can register for free at daughtersandsonstowork.org. And there you'll be able to watch at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, and we'll repeat the program at noon Eastern Time. And I'm fortunate enough, and I'm so excited to be the host for the morning program with my daughters, Stephanie and Veronica. And we're going to be looking at more than 15 different jobs. We have fabulous video and people who do those jobs over 5 different segments. So we'll be exploring the arts, STEM, business, health sciences, and marketing with 15 different jobs. We'll have a really great science experiment. They'll be able to learn not only the science behind it, but also the magic behind it, so they can also perform that. And there will be downloadable free activities, a passport for kids, as well as a teacher and parent guide too. And all of that is at daughtersandsonstowork.org. So this will be the first virtual one. And what a great way, millions of people in hundreds of countries have been participating. Now, wherever you are, you can tune in.
Wow. That sounds like a terrific event. Yes.
So, yeah.
And we will have all this information for you on our website as well. So stay tuned. The book is available everywhere. It's a fantastic collection. It's going to be on my recommended list as well. So we're having such a great time talking to Ellen, and such a great cause as well. The kids are our future, and we know that. So seeding them, loving them, teaching them, helping them grow into great careers makes this world a much better place. So thank you for watching.
Welcome.
And if you do happen to buy the books or attend the event, write us a comment, or if you just love this interview, so we know where you are and that you're listening. And just for that, we will give you 2 free tickets to our conferences as well, with opportunities to win some great prizes. So just write us a comment and tell us what you thought. BrightsideGlobalTrade.org.
May I also